I love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Coach Paul. Good morning, Super Mommy. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Joseph. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Carly. Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Brian. Yeah, Brian. It looks like Brian's story time. I'm assuming people call you Brian. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. You're from Uganda. Okay, welcome. Thanks for jumping on. What time is it in Uganda? It's about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where I live. I'm on Eastern Time and I'm in the Northeast on the east side of the coast of the United States. Um, Good morning, Misty. Good morning, Julia. Where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I live about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Eagle Jim. Yeah, Eagles. My Eagles are playing tonight. Anybody a football fan? It's first game tonight. Good morning, Shop Piney Oil. What do people call you? Somebody else, Tom, you're telling me you're from Kenya. What time is it there? If you're jumping on, love to know where you're coming in from. Why are you on social media? I do online marketing and making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. And I have my Eagles shirt on today. Today's the first game of the season. Super Bowl champs. If you're jumping on, anybody else a football fan? I'm a football fan. I'm a baseball fan. My baseball team is going to make it in the playoffs. We'll have to see how they do. It's 5 p.m. Okay. Good morning, Pioneer Granny. What do people call you? If you would like my live, whether you're on my TikTok account or my YouTube channel, I really appreciate it. It helps my account out. I've been doing these. Good morning, Ricky. I've started doing these in the middle of July, so it's going on 2 months. I've been here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern. If anybody has a question, how can I serve you? Or you're trying to figure out something, drop in the comments. Good morning, Sean. If it's something I've done, I'd be glad to do a training. I don't think you can train or teach on something you haven't done. Somebody asked me to do a training on social media marketing, which I did one. I also did one about email marketing, because if you're using social media and you're not using email marketing, you're probably not going to get the results that you want. And it doesn't matter if you have a message or a cause you're supporting, an offline or online business. Good morning, Jamie. If you're not using email marketing, you're probably not going to get the results that you want. If you're sending, good morning, Gary. If you're sending people to something, just like a page with information. Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, Morgan. Good morning. I don't know if that's Elsa. Purified just joined. What do people call you? If you're coming on, let me know where you're coming in from. I am live streaming on two places. I have my phone on TikTok and then my MacBook Pro. I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm on multiple channels. I do recommend if you're new, you just pick one. Good morning, Brianna. You pick one social media platform, do it till you master it. Pick something you like, because if you don't like it, you won't stick to it. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, RJ6. Good morning, Zodiac. What do people call you? Love to know where you're coming in from. I live about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm on the East Coast. I'm about 2 hours. We could drive to New York City in 2 hours. Good morning, Bank Cole. What do people call you? Good morning, Soccer 689. What do people call you? That can't be your real name. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you're on, I really appreciate it. If you like my live, it helps it out. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, High Grade. Good morning, Inder5. I'm assuming those are just your handle names, but people call you something else. So if anybody has a question or there's something I can help you with, drop in the comments, something you're trying to figure out. Because, anytime I say, why are you on social media? I've had maybe a few people, good morning, Meg, good morning, Lori, actually answer me like nobody wants to answer. And I do believe that either you're on social media because you're trying to find a way you can make some extra money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. And you're not just jumping on my live, you're jumping on other people's lives. Yeah, if anybody could like my live, I'd really appreciate it, whether you're on my TikTok account or you're on my, good morning, Alan, if you're on my YouTube station or channel. Good morning. I don't know if it's a Mandy. Good morning, Tracy. If anybody would like thank you, Tracy, for liking my live. I really appreciate it. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy's liking it multiple times. I appreciate you. Thank you. If anybody else wants to like the live, I appreciate it. Good morning, Jig Stob. What do people call you? And thank Tracy. If I could give you a gold star over the internet, I would. I went to Catholic school, and the nuns gave us, when you did something good, and they had these. It was a little box of these gold stars. They give you a gold star that you put on your uniform. Like what in Catholic school, we had uniforms. Um, yeah, I only went to Catholic school for 6 years because I'm the youngest of seven. I have a twin sister. My parents sent my two older sisters to a Catholic high school, and with the tuition and all that, it's just so expensive, and they couldn't afford to keep sending all of us. So they gave me and my twin sister a choice. We could stay in Catholic school till eighth grade and then transfer over, or we could leave after sixth and then go over because that's like where middle school starts and all that. So we decided after 6 years to go to public school, and left. And interestingly enough, my twin sister, one of the nuns had said one day in recess that some of us will be together, and it was a group of us. And my sister and one of the girls there, Chris, they ended up sharing a room in college, a dorm. So they were together again at college. One of the nuns had said that, and I thought that was so cool because they became friends. They shared a dorm, the first room, and then they moved off a campus and rented a house with a couple other people. Thank you, Tracy, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Pilgrim Rules. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So I went to Catholic school for the first 6 years and then transferred over to public, and then graduated from a public high school. Tuition for Catholic high school is a lot. And then if you're from Ohio, Tracy, okay. If you're putting kids through paying tuition for a Catholic high school, and then some of them are going on to college, that's a lot of tuition to pay. I only went to Catholic school for 6 years. And every Friday during Lent, we spend it in church and all those other things. And then if you were out in the schoolyard at recess, a bell would go off and you'd have to freeze. And then another one that you could move into a line with the rest of your class. I think Catholic school was pretty strict. So good morning. If you're jumping on, good morning, Linda. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. This month is my 14-year anniversary in this industry. I started looking for a way to make money from home after I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. It was the worst job market ever. People were getting 1,500 applications for one job. I couldn't get a job, and I ended up in foreclosure. I was broke, unemployed, and in foreclosure. And I started looking for a way to make money from home. And I found this industry. I didn't know anybody. I bought a website. It was a replicated website. They gave me a PDF to show me how to set up pay-per-click ads, which I had no idea what I was doing. Good morning, Nancy. I did that for a year. I didn't make any money. I was sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. And I knew after a year I needed to get around someone that did what I wanted to do, because you can't do this by yourself. And there's people out there, you're trying to do it. You don't have a training, you don't have a system, and you don't have a mentor. And I didn't have any of those three things, and I didn't make any money. You want to model what's already proven to work. And I'm following a blueprint that my mentor did. It's a 2-hour workday. In fact, when I'm done this, I have some grocery shopping to do. I have another video to make, but after that, I'll go do food shopping. I never do food shopping on the weekends anymore. Excuse me, like on Saturday and Sunday when they're packed and there's a lot more people in there, because I don't have to. I mean, there has to be something I really, really need to go into the grocery store on a weekend, because it's so much more crowded. And if I go and I'm done here, like 11:30, and go over to do food shopping, there's way less people in there than there is if you go on Saturday and Sunday. The job I lost, I had a 2 to 3 hour commute. If I got up there in an hour, that was unusual. If there was anything else going on, it was longer than that. So I was spending 2 to 3 hours a day in my car. I do not miss that. My commute literally is up a flight of steps, which takes me like a minute to do. Good morning, Jimmy. Good morning, Isabel. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy's been liking my video. I really appreciate that. Good morning, Abby. If anybody else wants to like the video, whether you're on my TikTok or my YouTube channel, TikTok shows me who's coming on. I can see people's names. However, YouTube doesn't do that. They just show me the number of people on. So if nobody comments, I don't know that you're. I can't see that you're on. You have to comment something. Otherwise, I can't see it. And I think that's one of the reasons why these people like these lives. There's no accountability. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. So you don't have to be responsible. And it's very different live streaming, being the person who's hosting the live stream versus the people getting on. I mean, you could be like, good morning, Anita. Good morning, Justin. You could be laying on your couch with your phone and you decide to jump on somebody's live. You could be sitting on the toilet for all anybody knows, because you don't have to be accountable. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Good morning, Tara. You don't have to do anything. So I think that's why people like these. And I can see people, good morning, Kathy, good morning, John, jumping on. And then if they jump off and they come back on, I see that because TikTok shows me that. YouTube does not. Thank you so much, Tracy. And if I had a gold star, I give it to you. Good morning, Esther. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So funny, nobody wants to say, very few people say where they're coming in from or why you're on social media. Really appreciate it, Tracy. Thank you so much. Good morning, Val. People don't want to do that. And I haven't worked a job in over 9 years. And I found this industry when I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt. I don't know that I probably think I'd have lost my house if I didn't find this industry. It was the worst job market. I couldn't find a job. And when I did find one, it was $12.50 an hour in a call center, which was way less than what I was making. And I've had days in this industry where I've made more money in a day than I made in a whole month when I still work in a job. And I had a 2 to 3 hour commute, which I do not miss. Good morning, David. And this industry can do that. Can be life-changing, and the people you see making money, I'm no exception. It's because we're coachable, we're consistent, we did the work. There is work involved. These are high-income skills you can learn in 2 weeks, and doing it every day, you start getting better, and you can master some skills. Good morning, Danito. Good morning, Dolphin. What do people call you? You can master some skills or a high-income skill. Yeah, you have to do it over time. There's work involved, though. I'm not going to tell anybody this is you just get set up and you're making money. That's not true. Good morning, Heidi. You do have to put the work in, and we show you how to use social media correctly and build an email list. You don't want to just rely on social media because you don't own it, you don't control it. You can lose your account at any time. I lost like 10 accounts on TikTok. I lost 3 Instagram accounts. Somebody hacked mine and then deleted it. And they ran ads and then they went shopping and then they deleted my account. I had 2 other accounts that Instagram came back and suspended them, and then they did not rule in my favor. So I've had to start all of these over again. Good morning, Erica. But I know what to do. So last June, I started posting on the TikTok account you're on and my Instagram account. And now I broke 100,000 followers earlier, like last week, and I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram because I know what to do. I mean, it's the skills you master that nobody can take away from you. And most people, they're not making any money because they haven't learned any skills. I mean, there's a correct way to use social media and build your email list. You want to build your email list because you can lose your social media accounts at any time. You don't own them. You don't control them. And I had a Facebook group. I had 60,000 people in it, and Facebook deleted it. And you do need a software called an autoresponder to build your email list. You can start with most of them for free, but after you get to a certain amount, they're going to start charging you. Thank you, Tracy, so much for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Yeah, okay. So I see somebody on here that I'm not sure depending on if the person behaves or not. I won't tolerate negative comments on my content. I work too hard on it. Good morning, Norma. So if anybody leaves any negative, thank you, Norma, for liking the live. If anybody leaves any negative comments, you will be blocked, whether it's on this live or any of my videos. I put too much work into this. And this is free. I'm sharing things I've spent over $100,000 to get around different people and learn from them, and it's given me the ability. I've made more than that back and make an income from home, and I don't need to work a job. I don't want to work a job. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Norma. Norma, thank you again. Norma and Tracy, thank you for liking the live. I really appreciate it. And if you stick with it long enough now, I also got the 100,000 followers on TikTok, but I got monetized. So TikTok pays me. They actually pay me for a couple things. They pay me for doing these lives. They pay. Good morning, John. Good morning, Chris. They pay me for doing on any video I do that's a minute or longer, and it gets 1,000 views. They pay me on that too. So it's pretty cool. You can use the platform. And I'm working on getting. I was monetized on Good Morning Young. I was monetized on YouTube, but I put a video of Taylor Swift up that got a crazy number of views. It was a short video, and I lost my monetization, so I have to get it again. Hey, Carl. Good morning. How's the baby? Carl had a baby girl last May, which she's now. She's walking and talking and doing all kinds of things. So that's cool. And I remember when Carl put the picture up right after the baby was born, he was still in the hospital holding the baby. And he has a son. So now he's got a son and a daughter. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Carl, I know you're from Minnesota. Do you live, baby? Yeah, it's her favorite word. Cool. Do you live near Rochester, Minnesota? That's the one place. Is that where Mayo Clinic is? That's the one place I'm pretty sure I know in Minnesota. Never been to Minnesota. Good morning, Zena. Good morning, Kimmy. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why it's a few cities away. Okay. And Mayo Clinic's in Rochester, is that right? If you're ever searching anything on the internet, especially medical stuff, you want to go to authority sites like Mayo Clinic or Cleveland Clinic or the NIH, the National Health Institutes, to get the right information, because there's people out there, they know how to rank blog posts, and they put something up about a particular, could be a condition, and then what they do is they put that's where they make mayonnaise. Okay. They put links in those blog posts that they're selling something. So those to me are not authority sites. If you go to someplace like Mayo Clinic or Cleveland Clinic or NIH, they are. I mean, they do research and then they share what they did, because there's a lot of people out there doing that, and they have the skill that they can rank blog posts like that in Google, and you go search something and their blog post comes up, and then if you go through that link, then if you buy something, they earn a commission. Unless they've got some sort of if it's medical healthcare stuff, a medical background, like they're MD or they've got some background, it's not usually reliable stuff. You're welcome. Was it Christina? Where are you coming in from? Good morning, KLC. So it's so funny. Most people get on these lives, and I mean, Carl's talking. I know Carl. Most people, you don't even say where you're coming in from or why you're on social media. I do believe that most of the people that jump on my lives, and you're not just jumping on my live, you're jumping on other people's lives. You're looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. Oh, you're from San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco on vacation. Been to San Diego too, and Anaheim. San Diego, I think, is one of the most beautiful cities. We stayed in a hotel that was on the San Diego Bay. It was beautiful. And then I wanted to go to Tijuana. So a couple of us, we went to Tijuana, and that was an experience. And I don't think I want to go back to Tijuana. I'd come back to San Diego, but not Tijuana. Interesting. I bought a blanket that I still have that I use. Well, it's not cold here now, but it was an Afghan, and there's all those stores in Tijuana. And I remember going over and looking at it, and there was like no price tag. And I said, well, how much is this? And then the woman starts negotiating with me. And apparently that's what they do. Good morning, Lynn. They want to negotiate and see if they can get you to pay more. And I don't even remember what I paid for it, but I ended up buying it because I liked it so much. Carl saying, thank you, Carl. Linda is the work from home money-making queen. Because of her tips, I paid off my car. Did you really, Carl? How did you pay it off? Was that with the letter writing thing by any chance? Just curious. Good morning, Stacy. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I mean, there's a lot. It's easier than ever. And your credit cards. How did you do that, Carl? I'd love to know how you did that. Is it the letter writing gig? Peggy Pizza just joined. I mean, okay, cool, awesome. Did you post that in the group, Carl? Um, that you did that? That's awesome. I know there was a woman in there. I can't think of her name, Carl. She did, and she had a bunch of credit cards. I can't think of her name. And she went. She had written, and I mean, she did it like in a month. A lot of, it was a lot. But she wanted to pay off her credit cards, and I haven't. I'm assuming she did because she was working a full time job. I mean, there are people in that group that they've quit their full time jobs, but if you're going to do that, you really need to get it in the group and look at what they're doing, because I'm sure they're writing, Carl. I'm sure they're writing more than one place. Because like this morning, I woke up and I was checking my email, and I went into global. There was a drop in there, so I cashed out for I don't know, it was like 200 and something bucks, but they're $230 I cashed out on. I'll just do 10 at a time, Carl, because the way they process them, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're yeah, for paying off debt, it's great, but there are some people, and I wouldn't recommend it, Carl, either for replacing a full-time job. There are some people in there that have done that, and they've got, if they are doing it that way, they've got to be writing to multiple places, because you never know when you're going to get something. I've been typically getting like one thing a month. Now last month they were two like in the same day. I think whoever was processing it, it was two different posts of credits on my account. But I couldn't see that you could use this because it's not. Yeah, I've been making some money off of that. Yeah, it's just about once a month. In the beginning, I switched over to global. I was getting one once a week, and that lasted for about a month. And now it's about once a month. So I'll do 10 when I get a chance, and then just mail them off. In the beginning, I was saving like 100 and mailing it, but the way they process it, it doesn't matter. Um, Good morning, Fairy Drag. Is that what people call you? I'd love to know where you guys are coming in from, why you're on social media. Good morning, Mystic Mind Heaven. What do people call you? That is, I've got YouTube over here on my MacBook Pro, and I've got TikTok on my phone, and I'm live streaming in two places. I have software that lets me do that. Good morning, Angie. I've been doing this actually. This month is my 14th year anniversary in this industry. I haven't worked a full-time job in 9. And the job I lost, I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt. I couldn't find a job. People were getting 1,500 applications for one job. It's not like the job market now. I couldn't find it. Sylvia, I work from home. I do digital marketing, where it's master resale rights. In fact, I'm going to post a video today explaining exactly what master resale rights is on my TikTok account. I'm putting it on Instagram too, that you make 100% profit. I mean, there's different business models, Sylvia. There's affiliate marketing, there's network marketing, there's high ticket affiliate marketing, and there's digital marketing. If you're doing network marketing or affiliate marketing and high ticket affiliate marketing, you're making a percentage typically, and it costs you to join a company. They give you training, and then the person you sign up with should be willing to mentor you. But you get resale rights on affiliate marketing. You're making somewhere between 20 and 40%. It depends on the company. Now, there's some that pay more than that, but not a lot. But that's typically the average. With digital marketing and what I'm doing, I'm making 100% profit. It comes right to me, to my merchant account. I use Stripe, and I love Stripe because Stripe lets me withdraw up to $500 a day, and it only takes about 15 minutes to hit my bank account. And those are, affiliate marketing, network marketing. You're sharing your profits also with the person who signed you and the company. And I had done that for years, and I've done high ticket affiliate marketing. And to give you an example why I decided digital marketing, I wanted to make 100%. Somebody came through my link. they purchased an item that was $25,000. Now, on that particular sale, I made 27%, which that's $6,200, which that's great. I made that in a day. I woke up to that. That's more money than I made in a month when I was working a job. But the company made over $18,000 on that sale. That was my effort. It was the same amount of effort. And I have some of my own products, which I make 100%. And I really got into that. The money comes right to me. And with digital marketing, it's master resale rights. And I am going to post that video today that explains exactly what master resale rights are. It's 100% profit. It comes direct to you. And I like that a lot better. So there are, some people have their own coaching services, their own products or services, and we're all using social media for free. Now, the program, we teach you how to use social media correctly because most people don't know how to do it, and build your email list. Because if you're using social media for whatever reason and you're not sending people to something where you can capture that person's email address, get them on your email list and build an email list, and where the automation comes in, I have a website that's all set up and a bunch of emails that are set up that automatically go out on my behalf 24/7. And it's working for me no matter what I'm doing. And that's how I've been able to make money when I've been sleeping or I'm out doing something. And if you don't have an automated system, you're missing out, because most people, if you're just sending them to a page with information, you only have one opportunity to talk to them. And then after that, they're gone. And then they may never come back, so you can't keep communicating with them. It is true. Most people have to see something 2 to 3 times before they make a buying decision. If you think about your own buying habits, if there's something you're looking at, how many times do you have to look at it, or how many times do you go back and look at it before you decide? You could see it online. You could be in a store. You could see it. I know I do the same thing. And in fact, just to give you an example, I had somebody, she got on my email list last October 2024. I did talk to her a few times on TikTok, and she bought something from me in July. So she was on my email list for 10 months before she bought anything. Good morning, Kulula. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Love T.A. Campbell. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, good morning, Fran. Love to know where you're coming in from, why you're on social media. I was just explaining I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this for 14 years. I haven't worked a job in 9. I had the job I lost. I had a 2 to 3 hour commute, and I do not miss that. My commute is literally just going up a flight of stairs. Good morning, Mimi. So I don't miss that. If I need time off, I don't have to ask. Good morning, the FX. What do people call you? Yeah, nobody. And if you're on my YouTube channel, YouTube shows me the number of people that are on. But unless you comment, and there's a couple of people that have commented, I don't know that you're on. TikTok, they do show me what people coming on. And I know I can see, good morning, Lawrence. I could see people coming on. And then if they go off and come back on, I can see that. And that's why I think people like to do this. If you like my live, I really appreciate it, whether you're on my YouTube channel or you're on my TikTok account. I've been doing these. I started doing these in mid-July. I've been doing these every day. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. If you have something you need help with, or you're trying to figure out, or you have a question, drop in the comments. If I've done it, I can do it. Somebody asked me to do a training on social media marketing, which I did. If I've done it, I'd be glad to do a training. If I haven't done it, I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on things you haven't done. So I can most likely give you a resource. I know a lot of things. I don't know everything, but I could probably give you a resource if I don't know. Because I do believe, despite the fact that nobody really wants to comment why you're on social media, you are looking for a way. Thank you so much, Minso. Is it Minso He? If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. Thank you so much. Looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. So, and I'm here every day. Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. You've said that twice. So thanks for jumping on. So does anybody want to drop in the comments why you're on social media? And I do feel that your people are on here because you're looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. And you're not just jumping on my lives, you're jumping on other people's lives. that's why when I say, why are you on social media? Nobody wants to ask. I mean, if you'd like my live, whether you're on my TikTok account or you're my YouTube channel, I really appreciate it. That helps my account out. Good morning, Digledy, and what do people call you? And it's pretty cool that what I've learned. I'm also making money from TikTok. I got monetized. I hit 100,000 followers on TikTok last week. I got monetized, so TikTok's paying me. I'm in the process of getting monetized on YouTube. I was monetized, and I put a video up of Taylor Swift. That was a short video. That video got a ton of views, and then YouTube dinked me and took off my ability to earn from there. So I'm trying to get monetized again. I mean, you do have to meet certain requirements on each platform. I mean, TikTok's a little different than YouTube. And in TikTok, you can actually earn from a number of different ways. YouTube, you get approved in their partner program. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. I have the subscribers. I just need more watch time. They pay you. You let Google run ads on your videos, and then anytime somebody clicks, you earn money. TikTok's a little different. You have to have 10,000 followers, and you have to have 100,000 views over the last 30 days to be eligible, and you can apply. And they're paying me for these live streams. They're also paying me every video. Now, not all my videos are a minute long, but the ones that are a minute long that get 1,000 views, they're paying me for that too. So you're on social media and you're probably spending how much time scrolling. You might as well get paid for it, because you may come on. Good morning, Don. Good morning, James. You may come on and say you're only going to stay on social media for like 10 minutes, and then you end up staying an hour or two and you're scrolling. You might as well get paid for it. So who else is on here? Anybody want to drop a comment? Let me know where you're coming in from. I mean, it's so funny. You're here for me to learn today. Well, Christine, if you have a specific question, I do online marketing, making money from home. I've been doing this for 14 years, and I've learned, and the programs I've been involved with, I've learned the right way to use social media and build your email list, because there's most people that are trying to use social media. I could go look at their profile, and their profile's not set up correctly. There is a way you want to set up your profile to optimize it. Thank you so much, Christina. I really appreciate that. Good morning, Beth. So I'm here. Somebody asked me to do a training on social media marketing. I did one of these lives. Now, you can't learn everything from that, because over time, and I've personally spent over $100,000 to get around different people and learn from them. And I do digital marketing. There's different business models. I like it because it's 100% profit. And we're like one of the only programs in master resale rights, which I'm posting a video today of exactly what that is. I'm going to put that on my TikTok and my Instagram account, explaining what that is. Most of them don't pay 100%. We're one of the few. There's only a handful that pay 100%. The percentage is higher. It could be 80 or 90%. It's higher than most affiliate marketing programs, because most of them pay you 20 to 40%. And I've learned on the back end, my mentor has taught me this, how to make money on the back end and create multiple streams of income. Good morning, Pauline. Because you want to, after you start making money with one, you do want to create multiple streams of income, because if you lose one, and I never really thought about that until I lost my job. That was my only stream of income. I didn't have a backup plan or a partner to fall back on, and I ended up being broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt, and I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. And if it wasn't for this industry, good morning, Stephanie, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know if I'd still have my house, but you make your own hours. I don't have that 2 to 3 hour commute. My commute is literally, I'm walking up a flight of steps. I have a loft where I own a condominium that I set up my office up there. So that's my commute, up a flight of steps. Good morning, Marie. So I don't, and spending 2 to 3 hours a day in a car commuting. And I, at one point, was working a part-time and full-time job and going to school, and you're exhausted. And I know I had a guy, Hank, who jumped on one of these, and he's working 2 jobs. And there's a ton of people out there. You're working more than one job because your paycheck doesn't cover it all. We had somebody in our group who, she was working 2 jobs and she never had time to see her kids. She was exhausted, and she started doing digital marketing, and now she's been able to quit both of those jobs. And it's gratitude because she's learned, and it's a skill that you learn. And once you learn the skills you learn and you master, nobody can take those away from you. Your social media accounts you can lose at any moment, and that's why you want to build an email list. Good morning, Jeffrey. Good morning, Erin. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you have a question, drop it in the comments. If you have something you're trying to figure out, drop it in the comments. I'd love to help you out. If I can't, I'm sure I can give you a resource. Good morning, Jeffrey. Where are you coming in from? I'd love to know why you're on social media. It's funny, people don't want to, there's very few people, good morning, Jay, that will say where they're coming in from or why they're on social media. I do believe that most of you're looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the result you want. Christina, you just resigned from mine, going all in on my practice. What kind of practice do you have? Are you a doctor? You're saying you're going all in on your practice, or you're a doctor, or I don't know, physical therapist, or a dentist or something, or a healthcare professional. And all the, I know, and I worked in healthcare. I worked in cancer research for 16 years. I worked in a hospital for 8 years before that. I know a lot of people, kudos to every single healthcare professional that worked through COVID. I can't imagine what that's like. And a lot of them, they just got burned out and they left. Good morning, Rhonda. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. They got burned out and left. If they're working in healthcare, they're not doing anything clinical, they're doing something else, or some people just went to something completely different. Personal branding, business coach on LinkedIn. Okay, so you're using LinkedIn. Yeah, I mean, you pick one. I do suggest to people you pick one social media platform and do it until you master it, and pick something you like. I'm on multiple platforms. I've been doing this a long time. You want to master one first. And we have somebody in our group that she uses LinkedIn. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, and I, in fact, had done my whole profile over after I lost my job, because I was job hunting at that point. The first year I lost my job, I was still applying, and I only ended up getting, the job market was so bad, like 3 interviews. I've never had trouble getting a job. And LinkedIn, people think it is a social media site, but you can also find jobs. And I know I get things from LinkedIn. Do you have any openings? Because if I had an opening, if I was hiring somebody, for me to put it on LinkedIn, and I could get exposure that way. But I mean, I did have a virtual assistant for a while, and then I ended up having to fire him because he wasn't doing a good job. I'd send him stuff on a Tuesday. He was editing my YouTube videos and making thumbnails for me. I'd send him a video and on a Tuesday and say, I need this back by Thursday. And I wouldn't hear anything from him. And then there's time he wouldn't answer any emails. And then 10 days later, he's telling me he was having a problem with his computer. And I said, look, I can't work like this. Do it again. You're out of here. And he kept doing it. So, I mean, I gave him my cell phone number. If you're having a problem and you're not going to be able to finish what I'm giving you, then you need to let me know. Good morning, Jenny. I said, I'm running a business here. I can't work like this. But you can. And after you get to a certain point, you need to start outsourcing stuff. I love automation. I may have a tool on my Instagram account that answers all my comments, and that tool is in beta for TikTok. They were looking for beta testers, and I would love to have been one, but since I live in the United States, they're not giving it. You can't get access to it now because of the whole thing. We don't know if TikTok's still going to be around in the United States. President Trump did another 90-day thing, June 19th, but that expires. Actually, it's like, not even 3 weeks from now. It's about 2.5 weeks that's going to expire. Can he keep doing those? Because nobody else has really raised their hand to find a buyer that lives outside China to buy TikTok. So we don't know. There's there's 5 billion people on social media. There's a ton of people in the United States using TikTok. They may have a business, they may have a cause they're promoting, a message they're trying to get out. Because I know there's women on TikTok, or actually on Instagram too, that, like, one woman popped up in my news feed and her eyes didn't look right. And I started watching the video. Here she's a victim of domestic violence. Her husband poured chemicals in her eyes. I mean, she lost her one eye and she's had like 5 surgeries. She said she can only see from her other eye because it's the grace of God. And he was physically, she said she had the chance, she could have left. And she said, I'm telling you, and she said it took her 2 years to get the courage to get on video and start sharing her story. She said, I'm telling you, if you're in that situation, you can leave. Because then I used to work with a woman who her husband was beating her. And she didn't talk about it, but she would come in black and blue. And there's no way that anybody, if you're falling and getting bruised like that, then you probably need to see a doctor. But she finally told me that. She had twins. They were in college. It's not like her kids were little. Women, they feel like they can't leave. And the guy, the husband, the spouse, or whatever, he's very controlling. Because this woman, Heather, was saying he put something on her phone because he could see all the text messages and all that. He like took all her bank accounts and just gave her a debit card with money on it. So he was controlling her, being buying anything. And she said, my message is you can get out, because she told the story where she left the house, she went to a park, and her husband followed her there. And then there were other people around. They were talking. He kept saying he was sorry, he wouldn't do it again. And he said, let's go home. And so she was following him. He was in the car in front of her. And she said there was an exit I could have gotten off, and I didn't. Because they do that. And she said he was so apologetic. And unfortunately now he's committed suicide. He never hurt their kids, but her kids have seen all that and what he did to her. And it's a bit, there's a lot of women. There's somebody else that she was all burned. Her husband set her on fire. That are living in that situation, and they don't feel like they can get out. And her message was, you can get out. So there's people using social media for all kinds of things. And if TikTok goes away in the United States, there's a lot of people in the US using it that it'll be gone and they won't be able to do whatever, and they can get on another platform. But I'm on multiple platforms. I use TikTok, I use Instagram, I use YouTube, Facebook. I have accounts on X and Pinterest and the others that I don't use that much, but you can get on another platform. I got on TikTok in 2020. I lost like 10 accounts. I stayed off of it for over a year. And then last June, I started this account that been posting. Same thing happened to me on Instagram, although somebody hacked my account and deleted it. I had 2 other accounts. Instagram suspended them, and then they didn't rule in my favor. So I'm starting again on both of these. And I just hit 100,000 followers on TikTok, and I'm close to 100,000 on Instagram because I know what to do. I've mastered some skills, and it's the skills you master nobody can take away from you. Because you can use social media. My mentor has made in 3 years $8 million. TikTok's really her thing, but she's on other platforms using social media and not spending a dime on ads. And she has taught me that. So you can use paid marketing to get out whatever you're doing, but you can spend a lot of money and not get a good return on your money. And you can also, if you don't know what you're doing, like Facebook ads, they work. But if you don't know how to set up a Facebook ad, you're probably not doing it correctly. There's a lot of moving parts with the Facebook ad. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to be setting ads up. And then if you're even spending $5 a day on ads, that's $150 a month. Because if it's not set up correctly, you can do solo ads, you can do pay-per-click ads on YouTube and Instagram. They all have them. But those kind of ads, you really need to know what you're doing. There's people you can hire; they'll set them up for you. I know a guy; he charges $2,000 to $3,000 an hour. So most people, I do know people that hire somebody, an agency, to set up ads for them. Because there's certain people I can see. If I go on Facebook, I can see their ads coming through my news feed. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Why are you on social media? Tell me something you like. And today, my football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, the first game's tonight. So go Birds. And us winning the Super Bowl last year, it's very hard to repeat. And that's something I think they want to do. But it'd be so cool if my Philadelphia Phillies would win the World Series. We will be in the playoffs, but we don't know exactly how that will go out. Good morning, Dennis. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. It's funny because I can see on TikTok who's coming on. I see somebody come on, and then it's a feed that moves up and down, and then they go off, and then I can see them come back on again. TikTok does show you that, YouTube does not. And I haven't live streamed on other platforms. and the software that I have lets me. But if I'm going to live stream on another account, I'm going to need another device because I got TikTok on my phone and I have YouTube on my MacBook Pro. So the software, we have the technology today that you can do that allows you. It's just one live stream, and the thing I love about YouTube that's cool is I can end the stream when the stream ends. It'll be automatically uploaded to my YouTube channel. It becomes a piece of content, and it's there. Unless I delete it. TikTok only saves these for 30 days. Christine, I've been on TikTok since 2020. Yeah, and I've lost 10 accounts, and it was like I want to say 2023 or so is when I had an account with over 200,000 followers. I was so disgusted, I stayed off of it, and I didn't know if I was going to come back on it. And then I started again last June with the account you're on now. I had a similar thing happen to me with Instagram. Somebody hacked my account and deleted it. I had two other accounts that Instagram suspended, and then they did not rule in my favor. So I started on Instagram again, and I take the same 3 videos on my TikTok account, and I post them on my Instagram account every day. My mentor taught me, and 3 is the sweet spot. They're 3 short videos. To get, I just reached 100,000 followers on this account on TikTok. I got monetized, so TikTok's paying me. And I'm close to $100,000 and 100,000 followers on Instagram. And they did have a monetization program where they paid you for views and videos, but they stopped that. And I don't know that they're going to do that again on Instagram, because I could get paid on Instagram too, because the threshold was 10,000 followers. And when I started looking, because you have to apply, you got to meet a criteria. For like TikTok, you got to have 10,000 followers and you have to have 100,000 views in the last 30 days to qualify for theirs. And they're always showing me stuff when I get on TikTok, other ways that I can make money using them. And I don't want to, I do get paid. They do pay, and it's not a lot for these lives. And then each video I put on, the ones that are at least a minute long, and then when they get 1,000 views, they start paying me. TikTok does have other ways of monetizing. The thing will come up, they want you to do a video specific to something, which I wouldn't want to do that because their videos about other things. Like I get some brand deals. I had somebody that wanted me to do a YouTube video, a TikTok video, and then join their affiliate program and promote them for like $90. And it was like a woman's clothes store. That would just totally confuse my audience. It's not congruent with what I do. Now, if it's something that is congruent with what I'm doing, or maybe they have a tool that I would consider doing that. And it was $90 for doing a YouTube video, a TikTok video talking about their store, and then she wanted me to join their affiliate program and promote their affiliate program. Which, if I started doing that, then I couldn't promote what I'm doing, which I'm making 100% profit. I'd rather do that. So. And I get a lot of emails like that people want to do something. They want me to do a YouTube video. They want me to join their affiliate program, which, if I did that and I started promoting that, because, I've only got so much time, and what I'm doing, I can get you can get it down to a 2-hour workday. It's a proven blueprint. And most people don't know. They're looking for people like that, because most people don't know how to use social media. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Squatch and Holler. What do people call you? I've learned how to use it. And yeah, that's why it's so funny when people, they want to make money, but they don't want to invest any time or money into learning something. It's a high income skill. You can learn it in about 2 weeks. It's going to take you longer to master it. It's, professional athletes practice every day. You need to do, if you're using social media, you need to be on here every day. That's 7 days a week. And most people I talk to are not, good morning, Jill. Most people I talk to are not consistent. So if you show up one day and then you don't post, you'll never get anyone to follow you. People are watching you. If you don't think they're watching you, I'm telling you they are. I used to think nobody was watching me, and that they are. I had somebody who, she said, and I met her at a live event. This was before COVID. And she said, I've been watching your videos on YouTube for like 3 years. I had no idea who she was. Good morning, Gigi. I had no idea who she was. So people are watching you. And if you don't show up every day, and I do mean 7 days a week, they'll go find somebody else who does. Good morning, Salmina. If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, you're from Tampa, Florida. Welcome. I've been to Tampa. It's been a while. I still work in a job. We had a couple meetings there. There's a Marriott down, and we went to it's a Ybor Street because we went. There were shops and restaurants. We went out to dinner there, and that was when I worked in cancer research for 16 years, and the group I worked for 13 years. We had two meetings a year. Usually one in January and the other one in June. And in January, we always went to someplace warm, and we went to Tampa a couple of times. So I'm teaching digital marketing. It's a program. It's an interactive program where, and we teach you. There's training how to use social media correctly, how to build your email list. The interactive programs. My mentor gets on training once a week, and then she'll do is she'll break us out into smaller groups on Zoom. You can do that with 4 or 5 people, and it's the product. There's 4. Actually, I have 4 products. You get master resale rights, and I'm going to put a video. I'm going to post that today, explaining exactly what master resale rights is, because you can make 100% profit. I mean, there's plenty of affiliate programs out there. You could buy a course about, any social media platform. Like I've taken 10 courses on YouTube, but they just pay you a percentage. So you're getting mentoring, and people mix up mentoring with coaching. The mentoring, usually join a program with somebody, and that person will mentor you. And my mentor, I bought it from her. She's mentoring me. But the woman who owns the program, she does a training every week. There's other trainings. We also have introductory for new people to get on, to get oriented. We also have tech calls. If you need technical help, you can come into our group. We have over 55,000 people. We're on a site called school.com. You can come in and ask a question. You can get on one of those tech calls and get some help if you need tech help. Because a lot of people, and I haven't been involved, and I've been involved with a lot of things, a program that actually has a live, specifically a tech call. I mean, you can post in the group and somebody would answer you, but you can get on with somebody, and we have a woman she runs basically all the tech stuff, either her or somebody on her team, and whatever issue you're having, you can explain it and they'll help you with it. And the interactive, most programs are not interactive, where you could get on a training, but they're not breaking people out. And this is the only program, I've been doing this for 14 years, where she breaks you out in smaller groups. And she decides the topic, but for a lot of people, they've gotten breakthroughs with that. And that's a feature on Zoom. Actually, I went to a virtual event that they did that with the attendees. They broke us down into smaller groups. So it's interactive. A lot of programs are not. And if you buy a course or program, you're going to have to go through training videos, and we have that too. But we also have the interactive one that my mentor Michelle does, which most programs are not interactive. And I've hired people privately to coach me, and that's all. I mean, one person I hired, I spent $10,000 for her to coach me privately. If you want that kind of time with someone, it's a lot more money, because I got one-on-one time with her. And I had access to her. I could email her or like message her on Facebook with questions and stuff. And you can't do this without a mentor. I spent a whole year trying to do this, and I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have training, and I didn't have a system, because a lot of people get on social media, and I did this for a year. I bought a replicated website, and I was sending traffic to that. And you never want to send traffic to a replicated website. You don't know what you don't know. Nothing converted, and people do that. People send traffic to a sales page, which you never want to do that either, or just a page with information, because the problem with that is the person only gets to see whatever it is you're doing once, and then they're gone, and you can't keep talking to them. And yeah, I do get some sales on first touch, but most people are going to have to see something 2 or 3 times before they make a buying decision. If you think about your own buying habits, how many times do you look at something before you make a decision? And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's high ticket. I mean, you could be looking at a pair of shoes, and you could be out in a store and see a pair of shoes you like, you try them on, and you leave and you don't buy them, and you keep thinking about that. You might go to their website, you may go back to the store, and that is true. And to give you a really good example of that, I had somebody, she got on, and it could be way more than 2 or 3 times. She got on my email list last October 2024. I did talk to her a few times on TikTok in between that. And then in July, she bought something from me. And she was on my email list for 10 months. So if you have an email list, you can keep communicating with people, because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And yeah, I do get, I had somebody go to my YouTube channel, and I heard a ding that, oh, you got a sale. He goes, I bought this, and he did. And I don't know who he was. If he's been subscribed to my channel, I don't know. And if he just went into my email address, because he had to do that to get to the sales page, that was probably the first time he found a video of mine and he bought. And that does happen, but that's not typical. And anybody that's doing this, yeah, you can get some sales on first touch, but most of them you're not. Most people are going to have to see something multiple times. And I've done that once in a while, that I bought something the first time I saw it, because it might have been something I really wanted, but most people have to see things. So, and most people are not using social media correctly. I can go to people's profiles and look at them, and there is a way to optimize your profile, and you learn attraction marketing. You have people come to you. Now, I've done network marketing, and I was with a company for like 2 years, and I was prospecting, and that does work, where you're going to, family, friends, you're messaging people on social media, asking them if they're open to take a look at something. And you do have to know how to say the right thing. I personally signed over 350 people in that company. I was prospecting. I was spending so much time I use Facebook. I got completely burned out. And I just made the decision I don't want to do network marketing, because that's a warm market business. And unless you have a super high converting funnel that you're sending people through, doing short videos, sending the people to that, that's the way most people do it. It's prospecting. It does work, but I like attraction marketing way better, where you have people come to you. Good morning, Chaz. Good morning, Godson. Good morning, Steve. And it's much better to have people come to you. And so you don't have to bug family and friends. I mean, I never bugged my family and friends, because all of them were so against me doing this. When I couldn't find a job, I said, okay, I'm going to go on the internet and replace my income. And I heard all kinds of things like, you'll never make any money, it doesn't work, they're ripping you off, which none of that's true. But I never went, and a lot of people do go the route of family and friends. I never did. But if you don't have social media following, you're starting out and you're doing something like network marketing, you can go to your friends and family and ask them. But I've never done that. And with the attraction marketing, the digital marketing, we're using social media. I don't have to bug family and friends, and I don't want to, and I haven't. But a lot of people do that because they don't have an audience, and you've got to build an audience on social media. And I was saying earlier, this is where consistency really comes in, because if you're using social media, you got to show up every day. And when I say every day, I mean 7 days a week. And for how long you're going to have to do that, because if you're not showing up every single day, you're never going to get anyone to follow you. They'll just go find somebody else who does show up. I mean, people want to know that you're going to be there. And that's how you get people to follow you. And a lot of people I talk to and a lot of people I see, they're not consistent. They may post something one day, because I've been posting 3 videos a day on this TikTok account and my Instagram account since last June. And it's not that, I batch my content. I have the videos saved on my phone, and I can be virtually anywhere posting them. That's not a big deal. Creating the content takes more time, but we have a 2-hour workday where we have a free ad strategy. You spend 30 minutes a day doing that. You spend an hour making 3 videos, and the other 30 minutes you spend replying to comments and email. Now, if you're new, you may not have any, but that's the 2-hour workday. And you're making 100% profit. So, because I don't want to spend all my time. And when I'm done this, I have another video I need to make. I'm going to go do food shopping. I never do food shopping on the weekends because the stores are too crowded, and I don't have to, because I work from home and I make my own schedule. I don't have a boss to report to. So, if anybody has any questions, drop them now, because I committed to doing these. I've been here every day at 10 a.m. I've been doing these since the middle of July. If nobody has a question, I'm like up on the hour. I'm going to end this. If you do have a question, drop it now. But I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be here at this time, 10 a.m. Thank you, Christina, for jumping on. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you do have a question, bring it, or something you try to figure out. I'd be glad to do a training if I've done it. I appreciate you coming on, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m.